We're here ahead of the Employer Brand Management Awards, which are taking place tonight. And I'm joined by Katie Drake, who's Client Development Director at Dawson Walker. They're shortlisted for 2 categories, including Best Communication of the Employer Brand to the Internal Audience and Best Employer Brand Management Event. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I know your work for Coca-Cola HBC was sort of its first big step in activating its employer brand. Could you tell us a little bit about Dawson Walker's approach to that and how you went about it?
Yes, sure. So the approach we took was we wanted this to be really immersive and participative. By making it really engaging, we stood much more of a chance of the leadership being able to really understand, embody and live the employer brand and take it back to their markets and cascade it down through the teams. So we developed and designed an event that was an immersive journey, really, all through the employer brand. We had touch points along the way where they could watch an employer brand film, they could learn about the EVP development. There was an interactive zone where they would do some digital and physical puzzles, and a pledge wall where they can show their commitment to how they were going to bring the employer brand to life with their teams. And that whole participation really gave us a sense of making them more than just aware, but giving them ownership of the employer brand.
And we're actually speaking from the Employer Brand Management Live, which you gave a talk on this campaign at. What about this event do you think is sort of special, and what do you think sets it apart from other work?
I think what makes it special is the interactivity. More often than not, whenever we're launching employer brands, it can often be a bit more one-dimensional, but in this instance, we had a really great opportunity with the Leadership Conference, which was a great platform. We had a captive audience of 500 leaders all in one room, and it was a brilliant place to launch the employer brand by getting the senior leaders on board and really having them feel the brand, experience the brand. We stood a much better chance of having a very successful adoption of the campaign throughout the organisation as they take it back to their teams and their markets.
And finally, for any employer brand professionals or agencies who are watching and really want to pick up some tips from you guys, what advice do you have to give on creating an event and campaign like this that has an impact and resonates with its audiences?
Yes, so whenever we are designing events of this nature, we always look at the longer term vision. It's not just a moment in time, it's how we turn that moment into a movement. That's why it was so important for us to have the leaders really experience and feel the employer brand so that they could take it back to their local markets, and those local markets could then adapt it and adopt it for their specific needs.
Amazing. Thank you for giving us some insight to your work, and best of luck at the awards tonight.
Thank you.